repurposed freighter drifts through space. As you stare out at the star-flecked void, another ship comes in. Wait, is this
Good
sci-fi?
evening.
I thought we agreed on a World War II campaign. Oh. Did we? That's cool. I can pivot. The smell of smoke curdles in your nostrils. Hold up, I thought we were prepping for a zombie apocalypse campaign.
Thanks, Wolf.
All right, here's what we're doing. It's the year 3700. Humanity's elite fled to other planets long ago, taking with them all forms of advanced technology. Earth survivors scrape by with historic tools as weird phenomena plague abandoned nuclear sites. Witnesses report seeing glowing lights and the dead rising from their graves. And amidst the chaos, 3 strangers will meet in a dim bar. A veteran zombie slayer, a disgraced general out for revenge, and a space mercenary sent to investigate the power plants. Now describe your characters. How did you do that? I have the right tools for the job.
Hello.
Hello. There we go. So.
How you feeling?
Oh, good. How you? Have you got concrete?
No, I'm just run down. I don't know. I wouldn't call it crud. I just.
I'm okay. Yeah. It was good. Even getting home was no problem this year.
That's good to hear.
Yep. I was almost missed my plane in Phoenix.
Oh,
yeah, because I was 10 minutes late. But the good thing was that they waited because there were several flights that were late, so they waited and so no problem. Yep.
Very good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was really good. So I gave them. I said, "I'm so sorry. I'm so glad you're late." I told them. The stewardess that was in the plane waiting. And she left.
We had a great show with Ed on Sunday night.
Yep, I'm going to watch that tomorrow, hopefully. Yep, because I want to.
It went like 3 hours, 15 minutes.
Wow.
Without end.
Oh yeah, we just went on and on and on. It was fun.
Are the ones most courageous.
That's awesome.
The tree that endures.
I also got Ed's commitment for the fundraiser. Thank you. By the way, thank you for the banner. We showed that tonight. That was awesome.
You're welcome. Yep, I've noted. So we have all the creatures. We can have a little quiz during the show for what creatures are in there.
We'll keep that guessing. It's early. We're a month out, so yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah, exactly. We do that during the show. Yep.
Yeah.
And there's some easy ones and some really hard ones. I think,
I'll
too.
say.
Yeah.
There's some really, really hard ones.
I think there's 13 or 14 in there.
I got a really cool special guest on for Sunday.
Oh, cool. So, log into Twitch here.
Right. What's up, Jeremy? No, we just got a hype train already. I'm still standing. Just haven't sat down yet. What's up, Michael? I know, it was a great time.
Yeah. Yep. And thank you again, Mike, for being in my game. That was awesome to have you in your set.
You got the slight con crud there, Jeremy. Me, I feel tired. I'm like fatigued.
Well, you got to it hard. You did lots of stuff the whole weekend, so yeah.
I mean, so Saturday after my game and all the stuff that happened, I tracked down after the seminar, which I thought was a great seminar we had.
Yeah.
What's up, Eric? It's all good, man. Thanks, Patrick. The Game Master Eric will be joining us for the 8th annual St. Jude fundraiser.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Yep, I really appreciate it. Thank you. Is the giveaway up? Not yet.
Hello, Draga here. Yeah, I made my saves too. So far, at least.
Me, I'm not sick. I'm just exhausted still. So I'm not. There's no game tomorrow night, everyone. I took off. I'm not doing it tomorrow night. No game. But there'll be games Saturday morning as long as I'm feeling up to it. And I didn't update that banner. And then we got a really great special guest on Sunday. Alderon, I got Jeremy. Jeremy got me. Astro got me Dave Arneson's Blackmore from Goodman and D20, and Blackmore to Dungeons and Castle Blackmore. And who's this one from? This one's from Zeitgeist Games. He got me those 2 books at Page. So,
POV, I had 30 minutes before my campaign group showed up, and I was totally unprepared. I grabbed my ready set encounter box and boom, everything I needed for an epic session. Adventure hooks, map tiles, loot tables, stat blocks, and miniatures were all ready to go. My players still think I spent hours planning our great dragon encounter.
Oh, is there good
if
stuff?
You're a
Okay,
busy
cool,
Dungeon
man.
Master, get ready set encounter
I thought you'd
live
know.
now on
That's
Kickstarter.
Great.
POV, I had 30 minutes before my campaign group showed up, and I was totally unprepared.
Michael, thanks, man.
I grabbed my ready set encounter box and boom, everything I needed for an epic session.
Really
Adventure hooks, map tiles, loot tables, stat blocks, and miniatures all ready to go. My players still think I spent hours planning our great dragon encounter. If you're a busy Dungeon Master, get ready set encounter live now on Kickstarter.
Return to what? Don't say return to Temple Elemental Evil, please. Don't, because I didn't even bring it up. I don't even have it in my folder for this discussion tonight.
Part of the history of the...
That's not. That's fake history. Fake news.
Yeah, but that's still part of history. This information is still there. So it's
no. We have enough real information to go over tonight, so I don't think we'll get to it. We got to start before ToEE. We got to have the history of histories.
Yep.
Cool, man. All good, Michael. Why is that still saying 45? That should say 46.
Yeah, Page was fantastic. Yeah.
It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so after I found my son, he was playing Battletech and all, the other mysterious Tim, myself, and our sons all went over to PJ's. Got over there like at 5 o'clock. And then it was funny. Then about, I don't know, it got swamped in there about 5:20. And we're all sitting there like, ha ha ha. And I see, what do I see? Kelsey comes in. And all the YouTubers are like freaking Pied Piper mice following her around. All of them were there. And it's like, okay, guys. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like...
I just need to step away for 1 minute. I got an Amazon delivery. I need to get it inside the door.
Get it. People stealing your neighborhood? Yeah, but it was funny. I pointed that out to... What's up, Mike? I pointed that out to Tim, and he kind of chuckled.
Hey.
It was Bob, the world builder, and Professor DM, and 2 of the other guys. I forget what their names are. They don't even matter. Yeah, it was hysterical. Yeah. Thanks for the hype train, everyone. All right. Oh, look, I got wizards and spellcasters down at GREYHAWK. I never switched that. Ha ha! Here we go. I'll switch it right now. Metal multi-ball. Hey, what's up?
Hello.
By the way, thank you for all the follows I've been getting since the page. I really appreciate it. Metal, you're one of them. Thank you very much. Anyone who's followed in the last minute or two, I'm going to update the screen here. So welcome. Hope everyone is doing well. Let's see. I got 2 more in the last hour. Let me hit them up here. Boom and boom. There we go. So welcome. Oh, look at that. I must have that still. Boom. There you are. Before I start the stream before you guys are in. So I got Anna and Mike we're back into the regular swing of things for the most part.
Yep.
Yeah, Paige. Metal, do I know you? Who do I know you as, Metal? Do I know you as someone that you played with, or you just saw me there, or you were in the seminar with Anna and me? Oh, by the way, I don't even have a shirt. I didn't look. I'm slumming it.
See, you didn't even. Yep.
All right, cool, Steve. Good to see you. Thanks.
Awesome.
Tonight, this is another Mike idea. Quick, hook us up with a good one, and we've really never gone over a lot of history of Temple of Mental Evil, so we're going to do that tonight. So, Mike,
we'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes. Oh, look at that! See, there's a special guest Sunday night. Tiffany Rose Nickel, the writer, is on Sunday night. Anna, she was at Page.
Oh, cool!
Yeah, I was hanging out her, and she's going to start playing in my game.
Yep, I saw her. I didn't talk to her, meet her at Page, but I saw a Page follow-up that Wes Allen had DM's Tales, and she was on that kind of Page wrap-up show they had. I saw it yesterday, but they had it on Sunday night. So yeah, so I know a little bit of who she is. Yep, awesome. That is great.
Yeah, and she's gonna 2 weeks. She'll be playing in her first ever old school GREYHAWK game. So yep, got some things working out.
Very prolific writer. I think she's writing
we're gonna
like crazy.
Talk about that. We're actually gonna give away one of her books.
Oh, that's Sunday. Awesome!
That'll be Sunday night's Gabbin'. So we got from Ed to Tiffany, so it's pretty good on the guests there on Sunday. So all right. Temple of Mental Evil. Well, before you get to Temple, you got to talk about this, right, Mike? Right below you. I got your book.
Kind of a lead up. Yeah,
we got to lead this up. Actually, we should even go back to the night. Thanks, Dale. We should actually go back to the 1980 folio, even before that, shouldn't we?
Well, yeah, I think that the Temple is really interesting for two different things. One, because it's publication history. It's important to the game, to the GREYHAWK setting, and so on and so forth. That's one aspect of looking at it that I think is really cool, that we need to dig into the publication history of it and all of the cool stuff that comes with it and so on. But then we also have to look at it from an in-game perspective. What is the purpose in the setting and its stories and stuff like that? And there are a lot of cool stuff you can dig into there as well. And I think we need to go bounce a bit back and forth between those two perspectives, because I think there's a lot of things to talk about on from both of these perspectives, both from the in-game and from the outside story of publication and all of that, so to speak.
I agree. How about Curtis? Okay. How about you, Mike? What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, I know nothing about the publication side of it, so good luck, guys.
Yep.
I only know the in-game history of it.
But that's another really important.
Wait, you never ran Temple? Mike,
I never ran it as intended. No.
Yeah.
Nope. Mike, I didn't.
Mike, you ran it?
Yeah, I've ran it.
Okay, so then the publication side, you know about the. I'm a little confused what you meant by that, the publication side.
I assumed Anna's talking about writers and authors.
And the story of
business.
Yeah,
the business side.
The
business side. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Right. The business side, the writing side, and the history of it in the game, or as a part of D&D, so to speak.
Thanks, Michael. Thank you all. I appreciate all the support. You said normally I would be streaming a game tomorrow night. I'm run down. I need a night off. I really do. I'm just gonna because I want to get some writing done, so we're gonna work on that tomorrow. All right, let's go to page 6 of the Glossaga, the original folio on the history. This is where it all started for me. 1980. I get this. I'm like, I fall in love with this immediately. It says the Battle of Emridy Meadows highlights this growing realization of mutual interests, and then it talks about some details. And then it talks about, it says not far from the unfortunate village of Hommlet. All right. So, walled fortress known as the Temple of Mental Evil. That's where it first is mentioned. We're going to have to wait a long time. We're going to have to wait 5 years after this, but it was longer with Hommlet's already out as a publication. Right. And then it talks about the slaughter here And then the army, you know, and we'll get into that in a second. You know, they got caught in the with the river at their backs. You know, it says Zuktamoy was imprisoned here. And then it fell in a fortnight, the temple, which is, I guess, what's that, 15 days?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Was
So,
it 2 weeks? Okay, 2 weeks. So, and then the Prince of Firenze gets kidnapped, right? And then we can talk about that as well. Lots of fun things happen here. Is it 100 miles between Emridy and Hommlet? No, it's not that far. It's not that far.
it depends on.
No,
We
no.
don't know exactly where the battle happened in, but
Yeah,
I'll
he
go
said
into see.
temple. The Temple of Emridy and Hommlet are not 100 miles apart.
No, I'll
No.
see
That's
what I
Emridy.
came
Let
up
me
with
bring up
on
this
my
map here.
maps.
Let me
Yeah,
bring this up.
that one is not the best one. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
These are Darlene's hexes, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So it's 30. Let's say between 30 and 40 miles, right? Yeah. Yeah. And Nulb's right there, and there's a temple. So, yeah. Oh, there's going to be some good older art in this. Yeah, lots of stuff. Lots of stuff. But let's predate this and get some detail here. Let's get some detail from Mike here. And I'm just going to leave that here, and we're going to go here. Boom. Mike.
So there should be no difference between 80 and 83 publications as to that battle of Emridy Meadows.
Right.
Right.
Hopefully. Thank you, Metal. Thank you very much. There shouldn't be. I don't think there is. You know, it's a lot of going back and forth, boom, 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 boom. You know, looking. But your detailed. You did this for a blog, right? The Battle of Emridy Meadows. You want detail, Mike? Is this still available?
I don't know where you can get that PDF. That PDF was put together. It might be on GREYHAWK Stories because that's who
Tommy John Kelly
did it. Tommy John Kelly, yes, that's who
Okay.
made that PDF. The actual article, I think, I first did on Cannon Fire. Here's your link.
There you go. Perfect.
I first did on Cannon Fire.
Okay.
Probably pre-blog, because this is 2008, so it's almost 20 years old.
So, for those of you new, welcome. We got a lot of new people that have been coming in from page and all. Thank you. Note this: most major canonistas say when you start a GREYHAWK, you start in 576. Most everything's set for that. So that's when the temple's there, you know, Hommlet's there. It's 7 years after this, the Battle of Emridy Meadows, which takes place in 569. Now, me as a dumb 12-year-old kid at the time said to me, myself and my friends, why don't we start here at 569 and we'll be was Excalibur out? Was Excalibur 80? I want to think, you know,
I think it's.
we'll be the squires or whatever. We'll be like 16 years old because most of us playing humans at the time. And we're going to be hanging out here and we're going to be serving someone and we're going to be at this battle as, you know, 0 level characters or whatever. And so that's 1981. So it wasn't that. But, you know, all the knights have all their servants and all. And that's kind of what we were. We were 0 level characters. So, yeah, Neverwinter Nights is awesome. It's 3rd edition. It was during the 3rd edition era, Neverwinter Nights. It was one of Adam's favorites. She used to go around with the arcane archers doing hundreds of points of damage in one shot with them in that thing. Yeah, so Neverwinter Nights was cool. So this has a lot of detail of history here, talking about Nulb, you know, and you know, Nulb festering. And then here it is, right here. Matters reached ahead in 568. So this is pre. The bandits and cultists constructed a moat house east of Hommlet. So there you go. Now you know it's not ruined yet. In 568, the moat house, which is ruined in the village of Hommlet, is intact. Right? So news of this spread to Verberbonk and to my hero Prince Thrommel IV, who never becomes a vampire. Please note. Yes. So he goes and he puts forth an army. Now, there's not a lot of detail on how the temple actually comes to be, right, Mike?
I actually found some interesting information in my research today.
Okay,
So,
let's hear it.
You want to hear that now? Okay.
What?
Yes.
How the temple came about? Because we're talking about it before, before this battle. Yes.
All right. Well, this will come from the Temple of Elemental Evil T1 through 4. Now, you guys all gotta keep in mind that we also have a Return to the Temple of Elemental Evil, which adds some information. I don't think there's much contradiction. It just adds a lot of stuff down the timeline. But what I found out today about the construction is that it took about 3 years to build the temple proper, the fortress of the Temple of Elemental Evil, the walls, the big cathedral, and all that. And that Ayu's had a hand in it. I'd say he had a big hand in it.
Okay.
Ayu's wanted to prop up the cult that was here and to draw the forces of good for Yandi, the Luna, to draw them away from what he was doing up in the north.
Right.
So that's one of the things that's really
Makes
exasperating
sense.
about talking about these battles is there's a lot of context you have to work with. A little battle that's happening down in Hommlet has repercussions all the way up in Yandi.
And also, he's using Zugtmoy.
Yeah, they're using each other actually.
Right.
We can go. I got some information on that as well, but yeah, they're both trying to use each other. Zugmoy is also using the cults. The cultists think that they are worshiping evil elemental, of the 4 elements. There's like 4 elemental factions, but they're all really worshiping Zugmoy. And because she, in the writing, it even says she figures it's easier to recruit for an elemental god than it is for a fungi demoness.
A good point is Eyes is still imprisoned here.
So yeah, when is the thing built, so to speak?
It's built in the 560s, it sounds like. 550s, 560s, correct, Mike?
I don't have that pinned down.
Remember, it gets destroyed. The armies get defeated and it gets sacked, which it doesn't look like it got sacked too much because it's not really damaged if you look at it.
They knock the walls down.
The walls outside are
Then they just seal it.
They seal it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's 569. So, yeah. But the good thing here is,
well, Draggy here, that's the fun thing about this writing and stuff. He's in prison between 505, 570. So who knows?
That doesn't mean
Gygax apparently wrote this stuff, and if it contradicts something else, it's always left on us to justify it.
Well, it could be that somehow he's able to communicate. Who knows? But remember, the original adventure you're going to run at 576. You're not going to run that, and it's dormant for a long time. So
that means that the temple was very newly built at Battle of Emridy Meadows then.
Pretty new.
Barely new.
Because Nulb is here. It says the banditry in Nulb started in the 550s.
Yeah. And Ayus is freed 570.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that meant he had some sort of way of communicating or something to plan or yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how that's all justified because he supposedly makes some artifacts with Zugmoy and does all this stuff. And if he's in prison at the time, I don't know.
It's one of these things that I think someone didn't think all this through when they wrote it, so to speak.
It would have been a simple way to do it would be, to have Rublar release him in 568. That would have
Yeah.
made sense.
Yeah.
But and so is anyone going to address the quantity of transported materials needed to build the tent? So
Yeah, that's a
that
good
is an
one.
Anna question, right?
Mhm.
Because
Well, no, that's where
yeah,
I wish I could find what page it was on. If I find it, I'll let you know. But
right,
this is where I use assisting and billing it comes in. Then it's just magic.
right, because it's huge, right?
Yeah, it's much too big to build under the nose of everybody, I feel.
Yeah, meaning, come on, they're elves and they're
But
bumpkins and stuff.
that area of the gnarly does not have a lot of elves.
No, but I think it's so close that they probably keep an eye on things. So yeah, especially if you're old culture that intend to stay there for the next 1,000 years, I think you want to
Right.
to keep an eye out for any potentially big temples with gods in them or cults
Well, you would think
establishing themselves. Yeah.
it's the clannish Sylvan elves, though, of that area, not the Selenian Grey elves, which are much more up on things, hateful words and stuff. The Sylvan elves are very tribalistic and keep to themselves. So I don't know. I'm just guessing here.
Yeah.
Zudrak, I don't know where to download that PDF.
Right.
You
Thank
might
you, Dan.
just have to email me.
Yeah. All right. So
Dragahir, that's a good point. To remove his involvement before 570. If you want to stay true to the fact that he was in prison and I couldn't contact anyone, that might be a good thing. But I'm sorry, Jay, I interrupted you.
no, it's fine. So let's be all honest here. There are some hows. How did this happen, or whatever? Right, without anything.
Yep.
Now,
Yep.
we're going to show something that happened at Page last year. Thank you, Joe Block.
Yeah.
Okay. So we know the leaders here, and Mike has them also. We know that Thrommel is here. Certain is here as well. Doesn't Certain die? I think Certain gets killed here. Wolfric does not, right? I think it's Certain's the one who dies in this fight, if I recall. Now, yes, and all the leaders over here don't have real names. So, and I know Joe Block extensively researched this for his war game scenario on this, but it actually does not have the correct names, or if they ever existed. Yeah, that's what I mean. Certain does die. Yep. Okay. So just note that we have, and I played in that last year. What a blast that was. So if we come to the end here, Mike did a great job here. All right, here we go. Showing the actual armies and totals here, especially the good guys, right? And I don't, you don't have Certain down on this. That's okay. But you have Thrommel, Viscount Wolfric, and then the mix, and then against the Horde, which is 4,570. Unnamed cultist lieutenants, correct, because we just don't know. But look at that total. That's a lot of troops for this area.
Well, let me tell you about that oracle. So I wrote that almost 20 years ago. And even every time I read this book, well, I mean, it's from a variety of sources, but even this book, every time I read, I find new stuff and I rethink things. And like today, I kind of took up the troops question again. There are no hard numbers on how many fought at this battle. I just was doing some educated guessing. And so I was looking at some real battles. And I took notes on a dozen battles to see what medieval battles, mind you, to see what kind of troop strengths there were. And just to throw out a couple at you, that people will have heard of, like the Battle of Agincourt.
Yep.
That was the first one I thought. Yeah.
6,000 English versus 14,000 French. Okay.
All with longbows.
Battle of Hastings, 7,000 Normans versus 5,000 English. These are pretty low numbers, but not as low as what I'm dealing with in the Battle of Emridy Meadows. And there's other ones. So, but out of the dozen battles I did, the nerd in me, I averaged it out to 8,000 versus 13,000 is the average medieval battle.
Yeah.
Like famous medieval battles.
Mm-hmm.
So here in Emery Meadows, I have, what is that, about 2,000 versus
1,700 versus 4,570.
4,570. So what I was shooting for wasn't really an accurate total. What I wanted was a ratio. I wanted a 2-to-1 battle. I wanted a 3-to-1 battle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because the only thing we can infer is that a horde of evil, orcs and bandits and things.
But the numbers are perfectly
Sounds
believable
impressive.
in the medieval sense, so to speak. They're definitely within. Yeah.
Oh,
And so it's close to a classic medieval battle. Now, the other thing that where I shot low on these numbers, I believe, is we're not dealing with countries versus countries here. This is a temple versus a crusading paladin, Thrommel, whatever, putting together a coalition of forces. So it's not a country versus country.
It's not a major war where Furuundi or someone large power fight for its survival. It's like they put together a force to go skirmish in the borderlands to put down some crap that is happening there. So,
my heart wants some big Lord of the Rings 10,000 troops versus 10,000 troops, but my brain came to those numbers.
Yeah, because I see the Battle of Emridy Meadows is very important in the history of GREYHAWK and D&D early on and so on. But I see it a bit like an archaeological evidence.
Yeah.
It's the one we've heard of, so therefore it becomes really important. But
in
the grand scheme of the setting, it was a minor
battle.
Exactly, it's a little border skirmish on the borders. It's not big battle or a gigantic war or anything super important in the history of the setting. But in the history of the game and in the publication of the setting, it's an important bit.
So that said, having reasoned through it, I would still love to take another pass at it, do some more research, add a little more detail, and a map. Back then, I didn't have a very good grasp on the photoshopping skills I have today. I have done other World of GREYHAWK battles on my blog, but I've never gone back and done one for this particular battle.
Dale, where is the reference for Bassanio? Where is that reference from? Who says Bassanio and the fire temple led the forces? Because if Joe couldn't locate that, I'm
never heard of that.
I'm very impressed that you did. Was it or is it added in Living GREYHAWK? Yeah, Thrommel was both, yes. So it was in the ToEE game. Okay, so it is all right. So so that's post retcon named put up. All right, well that's good. I'll let him know. I'll let him know on that.
Awesome.
But getting back to the whole IU's Temple of Elemental Evil connection, IU's wanted it's like he wanted that temple there to draw as many forces down there as he could. So if Thrommel did get together 10,000 troops, let's say, and they were down there fighting the Horde of Elemental Evil, they still would have won. But then IU's could have launched an attack sooner on the lands of good that are undefended. That's another good reason for keeping the numbers down. Thrommel brought just enough to deal with the threat, not to overkill.
So, someone calculated the numbers of cannon fire. I can imagine that too. I mean,
yes, this have been.
I can imagine that too.
Yeah, for all the younger viewers who hasn't been around since the 80s, this have been debated and worked over and talked about in forums and email lists and stuff for decades. So nothing we will say here will be really new in that sense. But it's always important to emphasize that this have been debated and worked at for decades, and I'm far from an expert in this because I wasn't participating in debates, but I've read them on the forums and the email lists and stuff over the decades. So in that sense, I guess I know a thing or two about it. Yeah.
I was so looking forward to this at Page last year, and it was a Friday night, and now Anna and Troy were hanging out, and it went on for hours.
Exactly. I went back and forth and looked at it. So,
as you can see, this whole back here, this whole area is gone. Look, all those dead. So what happened was the following. And DM and friends, you brought it up. So notice they lost. They had a leader back here. We snuck the elves, the ambush elves.
Okay, they are behind there. Yep.
Here, this whole unit which turned and pivoted was all the way up here charging. right? And then we wiped all the Nulbs out. Notice the troops have pushed in a ways. And then we killed the leader. We used all those troops just to take the leader out of that unit, and they lost all their command points. They lost all their control, and that's how the fight tilted. And then just this point over here, everything that came across this bridge here got slaughtered as we held it, and just wave after wave after wave. Notice all the Nulbs are all dead everywhere. So like half their forces are off the field, and that's how it ended because it got late. But it was great, and we had a fun time.
Yep.
So it was
Yep.
good to picture and play it because like I said, I was a kid. We couldn't play it back then. We just reenacted that we were in the fight, right?
Yeah,
And
which is an
in
awesome
1980.
way of it's an awesome way of depicting military battles and stuff
Right.
when you run it in a regular game
Right.
session. Make it part of the environment and let the players go around having fun and talk about it, so to speak. Yeah.
So I was a little upset that Joe didn't run it here again this year. I would have redone it. I would have
And he
played
was busy
again.
with his booth and a whole bunch
Yeah,
of other
that's
stuff,
true.
I
That's
might
true. Hey,
guess.
Mandy.
Yeah.
Sprockles Mandy hopefully will be joining us for the fundraiser as well. So there you go. So we got two new channels at least coming in. But this sets up everything that goes into the glossography here, right? And that is talking about after the great slaughter inflicted, the army went on to besiege the Temple of Elemental Evil, and it fell in a fortnight. The demonists, and notice the different spellings of Zugtungwe here with the TS or Z, was imprisoned in the ruins of the place. No details on how that happens. And it's in a weird, you all know it's in a weird spot in TE.
High level clerics and wizards.
Yes. I don't know, Rob. We can always ask him. No, my Abby, I've been running GREYHAWK for 46 years, so I have not. But a lot of people play Dark Sun, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's a great game. A lot of people will love it. So yeah, but there's a lot of others that will do it. A lot of the people in here will play it off the side. People play Forgotten Realms, Dragonlance,
mashup.
Yeah, all sorts of things. Let's see. Only a few of the wicked leaders were Temple managed to escape. It's suspected these individuals were responsible for the subsequent kidnapping and total disappearance of Prince of Furendi. Let's not get into that tonight. I don't want to go there. My brain can't. If I hear Nyron did it again, I'm gonna go postal on someone because that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. But Nyron.
One of the fun things of that campaign is the Temple of Elemental Evil was so after the battle they went straight after the temple. They ignored the moat house.
Right.
The moat house was insignificant to Thrommel's forces. But then after the temple was dealt with, then they turned back and finished that off too.
Yeah, and if you look, and if we go to this, and I know some of you saw the post, GREYHAWK Adventures, and because I posted this, and I posted the temple, and some smart ass goes, you don't need T1. It's in the T1 to 4 book. Really? So, oh my God. But the cover itself is what's important. One of the most iconic covers of all time. Agreed, Anna? So much so, right? So much so that last year's virtual GREYHAWK we did the return to, and I'm going to take all the pictures off of it, all the writing off of it, and then I colorized.
The return to.
Yes, yes, and there you go. It's my artwork down there that I have, and Anna colorized it. And look at that. I mean,
I searched all over my house for my Moat House T-shirt, and I can't find it.
Well, I have the ones from this year. Still, I have a bunch of them still left over.
You might have to bring one to Gary Comment.
Over Lovey. Yep, awesome. So that's great, and that's a return to. Notice even got the Order of Ulix symbol on this dude. So So T1 is awesome. All right. One of the best, showing everything that's going to go on in this adventure here. Yeah, Jeremy, you and Tony were here. I'm so stupid. There's so much going on. I'm so dumb. I had you in my house like last Wednesday, and I didn't even think about that. Yeah, watch out for the spiders. A lot of cool things. The giant crab. I mean, they even put that on the cover, right? And Lareth here with his staff of striking. +3 footman's mace, right? +3 footman's mace. which everyone wants at the end of that, and then the cultists and stuff. It was, and the eye, and one of the weirdest characters of all time. And I regret killing him off. One of the ones him and Drellson are the two. A Loth worshiper. Imagine that for human. Yeah, comics are nuts. So
there's a reason for it, but it's convoluted.
I met him once in 1982 at Widener College for Gen Con East. Signed a Dragon magazine.
I never met him,
I was a little
unfortunately.
kid, I was young, and but Anna and I know Luke very, very well. A lot of people here do. Luke plays in my games sometimes too, and plays in the joust and all. So iconic, but there's a lot of stuff in here that pertain to the temple. Right off the bat, a lot of bad guys. What's his name? It begins with a Z. Oh God, what's his name? Zerth. There's an actual temple agent right in not the monk and the other guy. They're kind of silly, but oh my God, it's gonna drive me crazy. Here, one sec. Adventures. Let me go to the adventures. Zert. It's Zert. Zert is in town here, and wherever he is, and yes, Turoko. Yes. The video game. I've never seen that. Zert is the. Thank you, Dragon Hair. Yeah, Zert is the agent. Also, they're one of the council members, or the Lord in town, is not very friendly. Always just looking to kind of have the flim flam go away. Rufus and Burn have their tower here, but they're never here, right? You rarely get to see them, which I thought is funny.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because they're working on extending it, making it big, and they're still not there working. They should be there supervising the thing, but they're not.
Right? No, they're not. They're off doing their own thing. They're not that high level either to be doing their own thing.
Yeah. They're on the illustration, but not in the adventure, which is kind of funny.
Right. Well, Burns 8th and Rufus is 6th.
Yeah, but I think they were in the video game, if I remember correctly. I haven't played it properly. There was a new version that came out like a month ago, I think, that on Steam, a new updated the old game, but it's been. Me too.
It was on sale.
Yeah,
I haven't
it was like $5 or something like that, and I bought it too. Yeah, I did the test run a little bit, and then I never got into it. But I think they are part of, just like Otis and the other ones. They are a bigger part of the video game, if I understand the story.
Hey, Star.
Well, from what I read today,
how you doing, Star? Hope you're
Rufus
doing well.
and Byrne got where they're at now, the money and assistance to build their own keep, because they helped the Viscount of Verbobong.
Thank you.
Kill a green dragon.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah,
and they were all characters.
Say they earned it.
Yeah. And they were all characters in Gary's campaign.
Yes.
Yeah, Otis were Luke's character and so on. Yeah.
They also there's a large bandit force between Hommlet and Verbobonk that they took care of that was plaguing the area. Now, right, so let's put this in perspective. 569, someone, the powers that be, we're going to say it's Wilfric and Thrommel and his forces, they defeat the army, rout them, kill everyone else, knock the walls down at the Temple of Elemental Evil, seal with the magical seals on all the doors.
Yeah.
Right? Okay? Yeah. Magical seals on all the doors, locking Zertomoy in, and then going away. And so obviously there are other ways in. Only certain doors are sealed. There are other doors that get in, like the side doors. If you don't go in the front, there's 2 side doors that don't break the seals. So there are other entrances in that are not magically sealed.
But to me, it seems so. Why seal the front doors when you know that the side doors are open? To me, that seemed
because
like
it still keeps Zuktamoy in by the thing. But
gotcha.
other minions can. It's like Josh's minions. They can get in to Gary Khan, but they can't go in They can't go in the VIP line. It's the
Yeah,
same difference.
exactly. Yeah, I know. I'm
Sorry,
one of them.
Josh.
It's funny.
That was a great analogy, wasn't it?
Very, very good analogy. Perfect.
I couldn't help myself. That was funny.
That was awesome. Yep.
So, Brandon
Very
Stabble.
appropriate. Yep.
Yes. Come on, Curtis. That was funny. So,
Oh.
all right, Mike. What else you got here in Hommlet?
So what I really enjoy about the whole Hommlet Nulb dynamic is because people were throwing out names of temple agents, and you're talking about Otis or all the other NPCs in town. They're spying on each other. They're in each other's towns, and they're keeping an eye on each other throughout the whole thing. I think it's kind of funny. And then the PCs just kind of walk into the middle of this and have to figure out who's good and bad.
Yeah, it's a very good sandbox. Few pages, but very good sandbox.
Yeah.
Well, it's extremely detailed for a town.
Yep.
I mean, look. I mean, this is a lot of detail for just a cottage. And great artwork. I mean, this is the way you would hope all towns are done.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's also very little fluff text. It's only one little couple of paragraphs on each location with a stat block, and that's it, so to speak.
Now, let's step back 1 second, just so we include some other people who've done some things. This is T1. If you want to start out lower, you can do this. And this should be available free on Joe Block's site. This is T0.
Oh, yes.
Journey to Hommlet.
Good one.
Okay.
Yep.
And this was only made in 2020. This is an old school. But bandits and brigands are once more threatening commerce in the gnarly forest. Commerce to and from Wild Coast is threatened, and living merchants of Narwhal, there you go, are determined to root out the bandits in a rage. You've been hired to accompany a small merchant caravan through the forest. So this is a prelude adventure that he did. It's free. Yeah, religion's mentioned too. I agree on that too. So, and this is not long, but it is kind of cool. And it's a caravan running through. I think there's a map here. Yep, there you go.
Yep.
As you can see, there's encounter sections here. So you're going to go from Narwhal with the headhunters all the way through, go by Oak Vein, all the way into Hommlet on this. So there you go. Yep, neat adventure. That is T0. Yep. Okay.
I found
you found
Tommy
it.
Kelly's link on that PDF download, y'all.
Very cool. There it is. Awesome, man. Thank you, Mike, for doing that. So, yep, he just did. Just found it. Oh, for T0, you want to go to Joe Block, GREYHAWK Grognard. It's going to be on there somewhere. Jeremy, if you have trouble finding it, just let me know. Yep. So, there is a lot of tension. You're right. There's a lot of St. Cuthbert followers, but there's a druid in town. So before I lived in this house, and last time I ran this, there's the entire town of Hommlet on my table, and you can see what a mess it is around in the background. Now it's the same, no underlays. Still had that. I had that big circular thing. It's one of the oldest pieces I had. There's the tower of Rufus and Burn that I used. Another angle for it. Bad camera work. Yeah, there's outside of town the cemetery running. Every building is on the table. Yep. So we had the entire Hommlet on there for weeks as we're doing a lot of sidebar adventuring. There's the Druid's Grove. Right here.
Oh, Jeru's little hut. Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, and that's all with the Miniature Building Authority.
I'm fascinated that every location it talks about who the residents are, and it tells if they are Old Faith or if they're worshippers of St. Cuthbert.
Yep.
I love that part because that gave me an interest in the setting the first time, because I played through it before I even got the GREYHAWK box set properly and all that. So yeah.
This is out before it.
Had read it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is out before GREYHAWK box set. So it's just really strange when you think about it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the folio was out before the folio. Yeah. So excellent things were done here. Like it says here, these folk are lawful neutral followers of St. Cuthbert. So, it just gives you a lot of background. So you may have friends and enemies in the town. And that was cool.
I remember the mill had some unsavory creatures or dudes
Yeah.
that were. Yep.
There is an abandoned building in the back that that they used as a alchemy lab as they went and they were going back and forth and were starting to raid Nulb and fight. Because I did, if you look at me, I did a lot of other adventures in between. So here, all right, like as you can see, boom, 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 Maple Land Raiders and missions we were thrown away. Ignore those two. We just changed up a little bit, but all the rest of these go from. And look, we're in 1,162 right now. So this is a long time ago. Tells you some things, and I added in adventures to get them bumped up. Right? So, and it was fun. So, 666 was Lareth. Yeah, you like that? Yeah. Yep. It's number 666. So, and the Grove here, he was pretty powerful. The Druid's 7th level. That's pretty high level for first level characters. Jeru Ashstaff, I think his name is. Yep. And he had, what does he have here? A huge black bear. Yep. So very well done. Everything detail. This is like when you first start playing, you're like, oh my god, look, they have the whole menu done. I never like when I was a kid, I was like, a menu.
Yeah, that's another cool thing.
Oh, that's cool. You blogged it. That's awesome. Really cool stuff.
So that reminds me of another blog post I did, the travel guide to Inns of GREYHAWK.
Oh, awesome. Fantastic. Thank you.
I'm going to bookmark this.
Yep.
Which it was a fun article to throw together,
nice.
but I keep running across inns that I did not put on this list.
Hold on 1 second. Oh, yeah?
So it's definitely not complete, everybody, but it does hit some of the major modules, like the one we're talking about.
There'll be a duplicate sound for about 3 seconds. This up here. Boom. All right, so Mike, you did our blog spot on that, didn't you? I just wanted to. All right, there's Grodnar's. Okay, so that is all right. So here's Grodnar's site. I'm just gonna go through some of these, make sure these links all work. GREYHAWK stories. All right. Yep. And there you go. Battles of Emridy. I'm proud of this article, though my original thoughts on the scale of the battle have changed. I would increase the number of combatants some just because. Thanks. That was only 5 years ago you posted that, Mike, on that. So
yeah, it's always on my mind.
Really, I think you were pretty good on it.
Well, I would really like to do a map to go along with it. I think that would maybe justify things a little better for me. But yeah.
Yeah, I was looking here. All right, so here's the Demon Friends here. I'm gonna link it so show it to everyone here. All right, so here's your. Oh, look at that! Now it's blown up on the bigger thing. That's cool. Here's his blog on it. What is Hommlet Dark? So I'm bookmarking that so I can take a look at it. Very cool. All right, awesome. Thank you. Check it out. Alrighty. Excellent. Skip Williams is Rufus. Ernie Gygax is Burn. Yep. I didn't know Skip was Rufus. Eric Money put a lot of these details in the Hommlet module for Legend of GREYHAWK. Very true to the original. That's good for Eric. I'm glad to see he's doing a lot of work, and I know he's going to be doing a lot of the writing for the new Ed Greenwood books too. So he's got a lot on his plate, which is fantastic. All right. These are good. Here's some of the St. Cuthbert sayings.
Yeah.
Square corners can be pounded smooth.
Yeah.
Thick heads are not made of glass. Salvation is better than smart answers. You hear that, Curtis? Just kidding. So I'm just joke, everyone. Some good folk can understand only one thing. Well, that's interesting. What's that? That evil's bad? Enlightenment can penetrate even the helm of iron. Yeah, because they're stress points. True. Trust me, I'm in countertop business. I know all about freaking stress points. Evil which cannot be removed must be eliminated. Foolishness can be beaten. Lawful correction lies in a stout billet. Capricious behavior brings knots to the heads of those lacking wisdom. Why did I just think about that bump on the head
It's kind of
episode from
a
Star Trek with
it's
all the
kind of a little
kids?
bit yeah.
Knock some sense into you.
Yeah. It's kind of tough religion at times. Yeah.
Preach quietly, but have a large cudgel handy. That's pretty good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's actually lawful good with neutral tendencies. Now, does that matter? It's a lawful neutral with good tendencies, right? So, I know, Curse. I'm on a roll. So, God of common sense, but very strict in he does backsliders and things like that. So, all right. So 569, the moat house gets destroyed. And it sits here for 7 years in disrepair. I guess that would be what it would look like in 7 years. It could be even worse than that, right? And also with that, but there's bandits in here, and there's a lot of stuff beneath. Yeah, I don't know. Not sure, Jeremy, because I haven't participated because I just let them do their own thing, which is cool, and get a lot of more people interested in GREYHAWK. It's fantastic, great idea. So
Here's an interesting thing about the moat house I read about today.
Mhm.
So the temple folk built the moat house as an outpost to eventually take over Hommlet. And then when Hommlet is enslaved, it says in this that they were then going to go further west, build another one, just keep expanding out.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't get there.
So further west means where, though?
I think they wanted to take over Verbobunk.
Yeah, that's probably the key.
Yeah.
I can see that. Verbobunk was a vital free city, right? And when I started playing when I was a kid, 1980, I kind of was like, wow, it reminds me of what I heard about city states like in Italy, right? They always had they were always considered Venice was a city state.
Right.
Back
Well,
during
there was city-state, both because their land holdings were at times not that huge compared to others, but it was also because they didn't have kings. They were diplomatically at a lower level. There were mayors and stuff like that. So they were, so that was really important back in nobility, meaning in early medieval times and stuff. The status of your ruler, in meaning, did they have noble blood of what level and blah blah, were they anointed by the pope, and all sorts of things that we wouldn't even think about today was really important back then. Yeah. And that you can play with that in a fantasy world too. You can introduce all sorts of hurdles for nobility to be recognized, or whatever, if you want to. You can play that off in politics, so to speak.
So I believe last time I ran this, I made sure characters were second level when they got here. Because at first it's really tough, especially underground. I don't know what else anyone else.
There's like giant frogs and giant ticks and all kinds of things.
And the spider in the tower that people remember all the time.
One huge spider. And if you have a mage who has one magic missile, does 2 to 5, it's not doing anything to it. So yeah. Trust me, this is where like another reason why before we had second edition, before we had specialty elementalists and all sorts of things, most of our mages were multi-class back then. Because we played a lot of half elves, a lot of Selenian half elves, a lot of Wild Coast half elves, and that's where you get the triple class characters, Fire Cleric mages like Gazumba. Back in this day, Hawk was a fighter thief. Tim's character Ulrich, a fighter mage thief, because they were loud. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true. That is true. And then you have here, you got your bandits, giant snake, on the above level, and then the bad. I mean, the the dungeon level is nothing to sneeze at, especially with the ghouls in there.
Rodents of unusual size.
Yes, rodents, an ogre.
Yeah.
Bugbears. Bugbears are 3-hit die, and they will crush.
Yeah, they were tough for a
Nulls
low-level
are
party.
large. Yeah, yeah. This is not an easy adventure when you think about it. And
there are undead beast stuff in there,
yeah,
but there's some ghouls and stuff. I think that were really nasty.
Yeah. Hey, free. And Lareth is -1 armor class. If you look on the tables, that's almost impossible to hit at that level. So, hey, Curtis, thanks.
Don't hit the face, right?
Yeah, that's almost impossible. And like you said, with a staff of striking, which if that hits its die 6 + 9, that's almost killing anything. And it depends on your rules. You're putting it down to the negative. So 44 hit points. It was tough. Two hold persons at -2. Yeah, it's like very tough. But said one of my regrets is having him killed off. Yeah, ghouls. There's a lot of things that are prepackaged TPKs. The one that I found later on in first edition was scarecrows. Yeah, because they stare, charm, and touch on touch, and that takes out a lot of early low-level characters. Yeah, that's good. Captured and interrogated him. 18 strength for a cleric. Look at this. He's got 3 18s, a 17, 9 intelligence.
Oh man,
That's pretty disgusting. That's why he's so beautiful. So I love down here it says, if Lazarus is slain, there'll be inquiries in Hommlet. But the servants of evil there will make every attempt to find out what happened. The slayers will be known as assassin of 10th level. Will come to the village in 3 weeks and proceed to attempt to eliminate the offenders. I would think so. The clerk treasure on the Druid of Drove will certainly aid the person so attacked. If the assassin's killed, nothing further will be attempted. 10th level.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty disgusting. So from here,
yeah, this is the before the age of leveled or like level appropriate encounters, so to speak.
Did they ever change the name of this, or did they keep it?
You mean I don't know what they've done in fifth edition. I don't know.
It's still
as
there?
far as I know, yeah.
Okay, well that's good to know.
Yeah, that will be sad if they change that.
Yeah, and then there's Rufus and Burns Tower, which looks a little different in that picture. It's more squat.
Yeah.
More squat. I don't know who did that one. Oh, is that DAT? Is that Diesel? Or is that Trampier? That's Trampier, right? Dennis Trampier?
That might be.
DAT?
Yeah.
It's Trampier. I think he did Rufus and Burn too. And I think he did the front too, cover. Yep, he did the front cover too.
Yep.
Yeah. Huh. Well, I'm 1E2 still to this day. GREYHAWK is a 10th level assassin. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, your adventure now. How early can you run this? That's a good question. Like, does 7 years have to pass? I'd say probably not. Probably do a 574. I don't think that's going to hurt anyone. 573. What year does the prince disappear? 573, correct?
Well, you can,
of the
yeah, but you
timeline.
you can adjust it in your campaign. You can rewrite history a bit too, so that way you
That's
can
true.
squeeze it in when you
Let
want
me
to.
see.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Do, do, do.
573. There you go. 573.
Yeah,
4 years after.
573. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So 4 years is a long time. I found that weird too. Like, what was he doing for 4 years? And that's a lot of stuff that Anna and myself and other people are going to address, because if you look at, and I'm not giving away anything here, so NDA still is on. There's all these gaps all over the place, Anna, right? We have no idea what was going on in the early days of GREYHAWK.
Yeah, but we also have to realize it's medieval. It takes some time to travel, and messages aren't instant unless you use magic and stuff. So yeah.
Was he like walking as slow as he could from Hommlet to Furiandi
It
in those 4 years?
might be other business. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah. But I also think that some of these dates were put in without
Eric's asking.
always take everything in consideration, as we do now when we have hindsight, 2020
I understand
hindsight,
that,
so
and
to
that's
speak.
the point I'm
Yeah,
making, is that
yeah,
you can tighten it up a bit. So what we did
yeah.
when we were kids in 569, we ran some adventures here and there and did some things, and then we're training, and then we started the Hommlet,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
So side quest, we did Keeping the Borderlands, all that stuff back in 1980. So Thrommel was in stasis all that time. No, Dragonhead he wasn't kidnapped till 573. So it's 4 years between the sacking and him being kidnapped. So that's what point I'm trying to make. So it says subsequent. You would think, okay, it happened a couple months later or something. No, it's 4 years later. So yes, fourth.
Uh-oh.
Fourth is if Altamir was there, then yes, he stopped at the tickling feather, 100%. Yeah, and that's the point I'm trying to make, is that anything that gets done, and if Sam was on, I'd say in the new canon or any new lore that comes out, can make total sense if it doesn't affect the grandiose lore of what happens in the big picture. Because you guys don't have any idea what Thrommel was doing for those 4 years. We have no idea what Melf was doing all these years.
Yeah, but Tromba might be, he was getting ready to rule the country, so he needed
Getting
education and all sorts of stuff. Yeah.
getting ready
Mm-hmm.
for 4 years.
Yeah, I
You
mean, come
understand what I'm
on.
saying?
It's oh yeah, but what I'm saying is that to raise an heir to a king, that takes 20 years or more. You have lots of things you have to learn. You have to establish your political position. You have to learn all the stuff. You have to get all the equipment, yeah, education, and you have to travel the country so you're well recognized and respected when you take over. That takes a long time. Yeah.
So it's a joke with Samwise there, who says he's creating the new canon, and it's a joke
Mm-hmm.
because he says all the elves are evil, and yeah,
See, Moose has a new
nothing's gonna
theory there
happen to
too.
canon. I promise. It's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
really good. So, um, okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
the point I'm making is that other stories now can be written and discussed about that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the point I'm making, because you have
Four
no idea
years
what he's
is
doing
a
for four
window you
years.
can use. Yep.
There's windows everywhere. There's windows
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. Like,
But that's part of the charm and the intent with the
exactly.
Greyhawk setting.
That's
Yep.
exactly the point. And
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of, do we want to just rehash everything, or do we want some new stories that fit in with the old stories and they make
Mm-hmm.
total sense? That's the
Yep.
point I'm making.
That's yeah, that I like that approach much better because
Absolutely.
yep,
Nothing's gonna get rewritten. It's just gonna be enhanced.
you never know. We haven't It's not done yet.
You never know. We're under an
Exactly.
NDA, so there you go.
Yep.
The new canon is my name for my body works based on my history in the community and the statement of restoring canon from WotC. Yep. Um, exactly. All right. So, Mike, you got some more stuff that you did research on. Let's hear it. We're going into the Nulb and the Temple.
Nulb.
Nulb.
Yeah, that's the next stop. Some of the best parts of this adventure, in my opinion, was really cool.
So the book you're on now includes BT1. When you skip ahead to the next part, which introduces Nulb, there's actually a ton of history included in here.
Yeah.
And what I find kind of funny in this huge sidebar on page 27 is that it talks a lot about chaotic evil. Chaotic evil, or so is that supposed to take the place of Zuckermoy? It's like, but anyhow, it's the same history we've already talked about the temple rehashed.
Excuse me.
Nulb, of course, is like the dark side of Hommlet, right? It's this evil village not too far away where all the troublemakers
But you know what
are
really got me
attracted.
here that it's hard to picture for me when I was a kid? They're river pirates.
Yeah.
They're not like your prototypical pirates out in the seas. They're pirating off the rivers.
Well, they probably use the river as a way of transporting goods and themselves up and down. And my sense is that might have used the Tor River, that is a subsidiary to the Atonsamai, Velverdiva, that a way to get in and out of the Velverdiva. You go out in the Velverdiva and you go and you go up and down that little side river because that you get access to the big one, and then you can go down into the forest and where the river comes from and hide, so to speak.
Yeah, it says in the writing that most of the folk of Nulb are boatmen and fishermen.
Yeah.
So that little Emridy run is
thank you,
pretty
Jeff.
important.
I don't know. They couldn't. Would it be a reasonable assumption that river pirates could reach remote maps by water? No. I don't think the maps meet.
No.
I don't think so.
Say that again.
No, Nulb could not reach Hommlet by water.
No, I don't think so either.
No, these are roads. No, these are roads.
Yeah.
There's a moat house here because it's in a swampy land down here.
Yeah. And Hommlet has another river called Nig's Run. That is from the somewhere, and because I didn't invent that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm using this map because we're delving into the history instead of your map normally, Anna, because just to show.
Oh, well, this is part of the adventure, so it's good. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you could not. They did not connect that way.
And there's one thing we should mention here as a little cool anecdote. There is a high road and a low road. And I'm not 100% sure I remember what it means in this, but there were a tradition of low roads and high roads back in the day. And high roads were built on the ridges, so to speak, and the low roads were down in the valleys. And the high road was also often used as a way of avoiding ambushes and stuff because you can see what was coming. And the low roads were the ones where you can skulk around along the rivers and creeks and stuff like that. So high roads were often used that way. And Romans built them.
In this case, the high roads have evil symbols all over them.
Yeah, exactly. Which, well, I'm saying it's kind of the opposite, so to speak. So, and the Romans often built the roads high and made banks that were difficult to run up, and they cut down all the trees up to a certain distance, and all of that was regulated in the statutes of Roman road building, so to speak.
Very good point.
Yep, I just wanted to say that there is a precedent for high and low roads in the old medieval and ancient stuff that made it into here, but it's used differently here.
So Hommlet, I think, is implied that it's part of Verbobank, or at least on the border of it. Whereas Nulb, I think, is lordless. It is completely autonomous.
Yeah, it's outside of any jurisdiction. No one is claiming it, so to speak. It's one of these places that pop up outside of the reach of I put it inside the county of Verbobank, but I might have to reconsider it on the 576 map and
I was looking for the picture in Nulb, and you found the we found a new heraldry. Oh, here it is, the Elmore.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
the Elmore.
Yep,
That's actually on my
exactly.
notes. Okay, real quick, Jay,
Go
on this.
Yep.
This is for Anna.
Yep.
If you zoom in, top left, there's some heraldry.
Top left over here.
Or top middle, whatever.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
I made that the Nulb heraldry.
Did you
Yep.
do that?
Yep,
Great.
it's
great.
I've already done it. Yeah, we saw it. I found out and we saw it on the previous show like a couple of years ago.
It was a Gabbin. It was on the Gabbin.
Yeah,
Okay.
Gabbin. Yeah,
Yeah.
and we looked at it and I was like, "That's heraldry there."
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Always on the lookout.
Definitely,
Awesome.
definitely
Thank you.
an Elmore style here too.
Yeah.
Which is amazing that he's doing work in 85.
I love his black and white work is just as good as his
absolutely.
full color paintings.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%. Fantastic work. But you know, I don't know if these guys look scrungy enough. You know what I mean?
That's true. They look too nice in a lot of sense.
Yeah.
The module gives a pretty good description of the staff of the waterside hostel, and they're very scungy.
Yeah.
They look more like the cool place you want to be.
You got a
this looks like the
guy with
entry room to the Tickling Feather. That's what it looks like.
Yeah,
so.
I mean exactly. It's the cool place where people want to go.
Oh, look, there's Fritz in the back. Just kidding. So yeah, but Evlantar. Yeah, fun times on that though. All right. So you really don't have to do anything in Nulb. But
no. Yeah, real quick on that.
Yes.
I think the setup for Nulb in this part is they know you're getting up at a level. You're about to start thinking about going to the Temple of Elemental Evil. And they're giving you the option of your home base being Hommlet or working out of Nulb, which is closer.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a player decision.
Yeah. And it's also where you, as a DM, you can drain the resources from the characters and stuff. You can, and also you can boost their levels a bit. You can give them a level or two fighting and doing all the screwy stuff in Nulb before you go to the temple itself.
Yeah, the canoness is here too, undercover. You're right, Rob. Absolutely. She's here.
Undercover.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, and it's like, you can have a big fight in the town, or you can be,
Speaking of big fight in the town, here's another rabbit hole I went down today.
All right, cool.
All right. I noticed something when I was reading through this. Because I like battles, right? I noticed that there are troop numbers throughout all of this. In T1, the village of Hommlet, every location, every little farmhouse, etc., it says whether or not the farmer and his two sons or whatever, they're part of the militia. In Nulb, it actually has a section where it shows how many troops Nulb can call up in different times of battle. And then the Moe House, Lareth has a number of troops. So, me being the nerd I am, I went through and totaled it all.
Oh, thanks. Yeah?
Nulb
200.
So this is my best estimate. Nulb can raise 102 troops.
Okay.
That includes, citizens, brigands, and river pirates.
Well, isn't that right here? Here. So
yeah.
At any given time, the basically neutral evil populace in the village can turn out some number of militiamen who are level 0, but still it's in numbers. The total number depends on the circumstances. And here you go.
Yep.
So I'm thinking, why is that there? Did Gygax, the wargamer he is, intend for the possibility of a Nulb versus Hommlet battle?
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I agree.
My totals for Hommlet, because I added up every little farmhouse, all the militia.
70.
Yeah.
77. And that includes another thing that's in there, Bernie's Badgers.
Right.
A mercenary group. So yeah, I'm thinking, man, it's all right there. You could do a Nulb versus Hommlet battle.
That's cool. Oh, and I missed something from that was done from let me go back real quick. Hommlet, Joshua Fontenay did this. the NPC roster a while back. I don't know where I got this from. I think I got this off of Flash Geographical Society. He did the map, and he tells you everyone's in here. Yeah. Yep. So showing everything, and I thought that was pretty neat.
Just to round things out, Lareth has 46 troops, an ogre, and 12 zombies. Yep. So you could have a 3-way dance.
Well, what I think he's saying is that the possibility exists for it to happen. If things go on the same page, go and the power keeps on growing, and the player characters don't stop it. That's a possibility.
Yeah. I just think it very odd that they go that much detail to talk about what kind of troops both can raise. Yeah.
Because they're still in that wargaming era.
It's a very early Greyhawk thing, though. The folio, the box set,
the events of the Eastern and Southern Fronts are all like
troop that. Numbers are everywhere. Yeah,
that feels old gritty Greyhawk to me. That's the feel I love to have. You don't have to use it, but to note that that's there. Yeah, talk about cheap labor. That's funny. Yeah,
that's one of the big appeals with this adventure is it has a lot of Greyhawk feel with the Cuthbert Temple and stuff like that. There's little and the old faith, who belongs to the old faith and not, and stuff like that. That really ties it into the setting.
Yep. All right. So
that's a honey badger joke.
So here's so you get this, and then you get this coordinated efforts part at the end, right, of the Nulb militia, talking about here Otis Uday, Murphy's act as agents good. So it's actually telling you some things you should note about. And then over here, spells that you can learn. Oh, you know what? Shit, I'm sorry. Spells that you can learn from Burn when he's there with
That's
training.
That's smart. Yep.
It is. So I remember the following. Every time someone died, we had to hightail their body all the way back to Furberbunk to get them raised, or they just didn't come back, right? And if we had the money, because there's no one who could do a raised dead in this area. So that was a problem, but that was part of the fun. Get the body on, and we're going to send them. We're going to pay a courier, and we're going to run that body all the way to Furberbunk. So yeah, but these are the spells that he'll teach. What's up, Celtic?
Yeah, I remember us having morbid discussions with our DM when we played the first time. How much of a body you need in order to resurrect someone or get them back again?
Resurrect, you only need a bone.
But we hadn't read the player's handbook. Like, how much do we need to bring? I remember we had a discussion with that, and it was it was not taken that well. So
so our rule was if you were put under -25, like you're really severely, your body was probably not useful.
Raised dead on credit. There is anyone know Lindy Bage on YouTube? He's a British guy that does a lot of medieval stuff. He had a video about resurrection and stuff in the fantasy world. It's hilarious. It's awesome. I'll see if I can find it. Yep.
Yeah. No Robbler in this mentioning. We had a lot of Robbler discussed in Eric Mona's game at Page. His Vecna dies. Wow. That was pretty funny. I played Jalarzi, Mike.
Nice.
I said I'm taking the lowest level character. And,
so how many rounds did it last?
Who?
The whole thing.
Well, there was 2 fights. There was a fight against Tourney.
Whoa.
I took it. Jalarzi took him out in the first round.
Oh boy.
I won in it. Backed myself into a corner at the Green Dragon. Prepped a spell. waited for him to cast something on someone else. He goes and casts Feeble Mind on Nystal. I spell turned it. He fails his magic resistance, and then it's -2 on the save because he's a combination non-human. Failed his save. Eric rolled it all out in front. Boom. He was done. 1 round. Vecna took 6 rounds. And the big move was, and Eric said this, the people who wrote this adventure have never played D&D in their lives. Because Alex played Drawmage, and he rocked and mudded him down, and they sealed him up in that, and then because he can't get out of rock to mud when it's turned back to rock. It's really strange with his abilities. So, see you, Mike. It was fun.
Yep,
It was a fun
see
time.
ya.
All right, so now to the Ruins of Elemental Evil. You did get to fight some things on the outside and the upper level. Where is the entrance? Did I go by that already? There we go. Here are the sealed doors. There are 4 of them.
Runes.
Yes. There, look, GREYHAWK runes all over the place, right?
Mm-hmm.
You decipher all them?
We did
Maybe.
back in the day, but I forgot what it said. Yeah.
This door, and then you got rooms 145, 210, and 352. Do not break. The more you break, the worse you're big trouble. But like I said, here's the entrance here, and then there's 2 side entrances right around them, right around this. So to get in. Yeah, and then from here, I believe, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, because it's been a while. One of the weakest elementals is sects is on the first floor. Then 3 are vying for power on the second floor. Is that correct?
I have no clue about that part.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I do know that elementals summoned here have a chance of being evil rather than neutral.
Yes. Yeah. So there was a lot of discussion on this. Why elemental evil? Thank you, Trigger. And
Yeah.
I think the word of that was it Moorcock or Cthulhu base that Gary was really into? I think it was Moorcock. Michael Moorcock's writings have a lot of elemental aspects to it.
Okay.
Is that correct, audience?
I don't know, but yep.
Yeah. Thank you. And that's where he got the idea for the elemental evil.
Yep.
Earth is on 1, fire, air, and water on 2nd. Okay, thought so. I didn't know which is which, but Earth happens to be the weakest now. So if you're smart, you'll try and take them out. The magic system is very elemental and demon. Okay. Yeah, and so the Gary was a huge Moorcock fan, and that is where he got a lot of the idea for this.
Yeah, elements are chaotic, and the
Right.
demon is posing as an elemental.
Yeah. So leads me to what like I always felt like there was a weird kind of man. I thought like this would be if they all. I guess they couldn't because they never got along. All 4 different aspects because together they would be very powerful, right? But now I kind of understand that was probably the intent was that with chaos, everyone's vying to be the big dog, right? So it's not like a lawful evil group where they're trying to work for the common evil. They're working for each other. I think that was part of the issue here. So I want to ask this question. Yeah. Well, this is Menser. So I asked Frank Menser this last year when we had him on. Excuse me. There's what, 5-6 year gap. I'm gonna have to get something to drink. There's a 5-6 year gap between Hommlet and this, where Gary's doing all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Frank, if you remember, Anna, was very politically protected Gary and said he was just as an advisor. I have a feeling that wasn't the case, but I have a feeling that he was just doing that for
Yeah,
because he loves Gary so much.
exactly. I think so too. I think Frank seems like he wrote a lot more to this
Yeah,
than
I
just
think so.
advice on the side. Yep.
Can you two continue, please, for a second while I
Yeah,
I'll go
but
get some
that
water.
might also be that you have the contention between Gary's old home campaign that elements of this came from, and then Gary probably had a bunch of notes. So there you have a little bit of there's some dichotomies and some weird stuff going on between, and that's probably because we have like three stories. We have the original Gary's stories from his home campaign that led him to write this in the first place, and then you have what Gary's writing, and then you had Frank's new ideas and corrections, because from what I've read of the story was that Gary's manuscript was 300 pages, and then Frank has to whittle that down to 182 pages or 128, whatever, and page count to get it printed, and so he probably yeah, took things out and rewrote parts to make it fit and so on. So therefore we have something that has been edited like 3 times plus proper editing, so to speak. So the story has been tweaked and stuff at least 3 times over. Yeah, so that is part of, I guess why we have this, and also the fact that the first part, Hommlet, was released years, like 7 years before the rest part, and there was
Yeah.
probably a lot of politics and whatever. The game evolved and lots of things evolved, and that might be some of the things that Frank tried to kind of whip it into a product that could really be sold, because my guess is that the the expectations of this module was probably through the roof. If you have to wait for something 7 years that had been announced and talked about and hinted at in Dragon Magazine for years, they probably had expectations that were all over the place.
Almost as expectant as a Castle Greyhawk.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Yep.
something's bound to go wrong.
Yep. The only difference in that sense back then was that this was actually announced and then not delivered.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, and also another side to this that might be interesting, I think, is that I'm not sure I'm right, but it's a speculation on my part, is that the game also evolved a lot. First from Gary's home game and the early, meaning those 7 years from when Hommlet was published until Temple of Elemental finally published, meaning that's almost the span of a whole edition, 7 years. And those were in a lot of ways very formative years of AD&D first edition, of D&D in overall, so to speak. So that was probably in some ways a very different environment where the product was actually launched into compared to the one when it was conceived and the ideas came up like a decade earlier. So yeah.
Sorry.
Oh
I may
yeah,
be
that
coughing
that
again.
happens. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. It's just
Yep.
I'm not sick. It's just weird. So
Oh yeah, a little
yeah,
bit of
Dad's
allergy.
back.
Yeah. Yeah, I got over. I talked a little bit about the idea of the Gary and Frank, and the fact that the story originates as Gary's adventure, his home game, and then he wrote the story, and there was like a huge manuscript, way bigger than could be published, and then Frank was the one that was set to turn it into a published product, and the fact that it was also released 7 years later, D&D itself had gone through quite an evolution in that near decade from when it was originally written. It was probably more like 10 years from Gary, when Gary started writing on it, until it actually got published.
I want to, Moms. Are you the Queen of Dice? Are you that?
Oh,
Yeah, or someone else? Let me know. Yeah, of course. Did
awesome.
your husband
Yeah.
have fun playing my games? And he also played Eric Mona's game too. I hope he had a blast. And it's so good to see you. Thank you for coming on. And thanks a lot. I didn't recognize your name on Instagram. I think it is. But I appreciate it. So we're all linked together. Yeah, it's great.
Yep.
And
Mm-hmm.
hopefully you got home safely and everything went well. But yeah, we had a lot of fun this year. So yeah, and we're talking about Temple of Mental Evil tonight, and really appreciate it. And tell him I said hi too. Our table of fun and salt and apple. Cool. Hey man, thank you for playing as well. I hope your daughters had fun too. I bumped into your oldest one late in the day on Saturday. She said she was having a good time. So Simple Energy was the original Motorhouse Dungeon and Gary's campaign. I don't doubt that. It's great to hear. So did my son. My son had a great time too. So all right. So the upper levels, the upper two levels are elemental evil factions fighting against each other. And what I would suggest is for these a simple thing of troop replacement. You're gonna have to do this in 4As, right? 4A in and out. I remember when we ran this in the 80s when it first came out, we had two different groups of adventurers almost alternating going in. And they kind of merged at that point. And that was like generation 3. We had our original characters all named after ourselves was generation 1. Generation 2, Hawk, Gazumba, Tim had Fensick and Leuven, Walt had Schlemm and Meal, that all those names, S&M, SM Mining Interest, all those. Generation 3 were these characters. Early Winchester characters like Elaine, Andrea, Glamdring was Tim's. There was a whole bunch of Sam was Alan's halfling thief. We're all in this, and they all came through this series of adventures first. And it culminated in 1987 when we finished this finally on our first trip down to Fairfax, Virginia, where Marco was staying for the summer. And that's where Altamira was founded that weekend. But we finished up because I never, I don't know about you, but we haven't gotten there. Well, you should go. I'm going to be there. I'm on the board, so I'll be at Concoction definitely. But I don't know about the nodes. I hated the idea of the nodes. I think I don't get it. I just don't get it, Mike. So, all right. So, what are your factions fighting against each other? Anything you came up with?
I don't really have much to comment on this. I don't
Okay.
even. I don't think I use the nodes because when you're going through however many levels of dungeon, it feels like being a dead horse at that point. I mean, I know
I
the
agree.
whole point of it's elemental evil. It would have been nice if they just done one or the other. The
I agree.
nodes, or just a standard dungeon with a demon or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But after levels 1 and 2, right, where all the factions are fighting each other, and there are a lot of rooms here, as you can see, a lot.
Oh yeah,
and a lot of creatures.
Oh, yeah, was this the first mega dungeon that TSR published? The first really big adventure from so-called mega dungeon?
Let me think about that. I'm just thinking what it was published before 1985.
Yeah, I don't think that was anything of this scope before
look,
published
I thought the
by
G
TSR.
series itself was mega, right?
Oh yeah, but they were much thinner in that sense. But on the other hand, the dungeons or the
G3 is
steady,
big.
yeah.
G3 has 3 levels below it.
Yeah, it's true.
But I don't know. This is the Grand Pooh. This is supposed to be the Grand Poobah of all of them.
Yeah.
Right. Showcamp has not been released yet, or if it has, I don't think it had. I think it was released right after this. But Showcamp was done in the earlier than this. The original Showcamp was written for tournament back in the day. So yeah, I mean it is loaded with stuff. Look, I'm still on the second level here. Look at the level description in this area. It's crazy. Big name character. Here's Canon Belsernig, right? So yeah. So just big baddies everywhere. I'm trying to get to level 3. It's still going. Level 2, level 2, level 2, level 2.
What's
and this is
terrible?
Called Let's Fit the Map on the entire piece of paper.
Classic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, BB, but they were done earlier. They were done in the 80s. A1, A2, A3, A4, all separate. Yeah. Ravenloft was after this. Ravenloft's 86. Yeah. Ravenloft was done after this. I love Ravenloft. I placed it right in GREYHAWK. I thought it was groundbreaking. Then I hated that they made a whole campaign setting. All right, so level 3 is where it happens. Mike, any research on Zugtmoy or anything else that happens on this level?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't have anything.
Lots of high-level monsters on this level. But let's get to...
Well, we have to remember the lower we went, the bigger the monsters got back in the...
True.
Back in the day, which is kind of counterintuitive. The dragons live deep underground, which, yeah.
If you were to pull all the creatures in the temple out, they could take over Nulb and Hommlet, no problem.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of stuff down here.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff down here. It's almost like every creature that you can think of from the Dungeon Master's Guide, Fiend Folio. Are there any Fiend Folio and Monster Manual 2s down in here? All right, so here we go. Number 334. The room that determines the fate of the entire world in your campaign. Yes, it is. No, that's the way to do it. Fit the map all on one page.
Well, that was kind of part of
this.
Yeah.
What? I'm not going to talk about the other one. I'm going to talk about this.
Oh.
This is the room. There's a sarcophagus.
Oh yeah, the room. Okay, I got you. Now I understand what you're talking about. Yep.
Here are the scrolls.
I'm slow.
One is a message. Let the good ones use their newfound strength to seal in the horror of darkness to prove their faithfulness to right and justice. And we who wrote this lack the power to do so. Of course, that's a joke against good. Yeah. Although it has spells on it. So you can open it if you need strength spells. Yep. So this whole thing is an illusion. So basically Thrommel is interred here. Who knows how it happened? No, you can say that the gnomes of the Flinty Hills did it for all I care. Okay. That's gonna be argued from day one. No one, Arakshasa did it. I don't know. All right. You can speculate all you want, but Thrommel is here. And someone decided we're gonna when the good guys find him, they're gonna see him as a vampire and they're gonna stake him and kill him. Right? So that's the whole
As
joke.
you do.
We didn't do that. My Google FU is strong here. Here's the link to the post about us. Yeah, so you're absolutely correct. That was the underground part was from the Dungeon Master's Guide. Yep, absolutely. I love that sample dungeon. I love the story behind it. With it had the what do you call it? A big platform that's gone, but you had the holes where it was placed. It was beautifully done, written. And yeah, so your powerful magic reveals a figure completely different from the vampire form. I forget who it was. Someone had a gem of seeing. And so, yep. Wears a gold lace about his neck. It's a gold chain set with an emblem of the crown. His shield rests on his feet. There you go. So it's Thrommel. Thrommel gets freed. And from this spawn 40 more years of adventuring where we had people joining his group. He has a group called the Light Horse Brigade. One of Walt's characters becomes, and she's a dark elf too. And remember, Arthur Kane is out. So he's playing a good dark elf character who fled from the Underdark. Becomes real good friends with Thrommel and does a series of adventures with him. All sorts of other things happen. A lot of adventuring in the Vespi Forest because of this and all. And Dale understands it because Dale did the same thing a lot of other people did. And Anna was amused by and Jolie moved on too. I did that as well. And because I didn't want Fairundy and Valuna being one big country. But I asked this question about Vampire Thrommel during the seminar, right? And everyone I got all the booze I wanted, right? And it was perfect. I started laughing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Boo that guy.
Well, mini Thrommel. So it was a good time. So this is where...
I find interesting looking at this. Mm-hmm. What I find interesting now, it says he's in stasis.
Yes.
Yeah.
with an illusion on him.
Yes.
So you wouldn't be able to stake him. If something's in temporal stasis, I don't think you can affect it.
Yeah,
Of course, that's just me.
Well,
but then it later goes on and says if you remove him, then he wakes up. So I guess if you can move him, you could stake him. Maybe I don't know.
Maybe once you open the sarcophagus, the stasis actually wears off. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. All right, that's cool, Dragger here. I like that. I like that. It's all good. Yeah, I should have some booze now or something. So, and you also, Fragarak is recovered, right? A final word sword. And he takes it, but he assigns, he gives you one of the others. Somehow there's 9 of them. And by the way, everyone's assuming it was lawful good. But then he'll give you another one in compensation for it, along with a bunch of other stuff. So there you go. And that happens here. It's meant to be a campaign-defining event, and then it gets forgotten after this. So be it. It's like I'll give you my equivalent. I'm watching the last 3 of the Star Wars movies, right? And they're Han Solo's son, right? I'm like, well, where's his sister? Because in the books, don't they have twins? Han Solo and Leia in the books that are written. I'm like, well, they just ignored that completely. So I'm like, it's the same thing here. Okay, Sam. Of course, Sam's gonna look it up and check it. They ignored the books, Rob. You understand? Yeah, you get my point. Yeah. Dolly said she'll insult her, man. Yep. They had 3 kids. Thank you, Rascal. All right. So we continue on. Valorant is here. Magic user. Critch is near. Is his closet, I believe. So, and you continue on. I'm trying to get to the next part of the here. All right. This is cool. Now, this is not on the 4th level. So you have to open, if I recall, you got to figure out a way to get in, but you may have to break a seal to get in, if I recall. 1 set of seals just to get in here. So Zuctamori is imprisoned on the 3rd level, not the 4th. So, and these symbols are at the base of it, and that's how she got to her nodes from here. And that's where you can get to the nodes from here too as well if you get the Orb of Golden Death. I think that's it, right? Zuctamori was one of the toughest fights we ever did because I pumped her up a little bit. And plus, there's all these oozes and violet fungi and all this other disgusting stuff all over the place. She's not the hot Zuctamori yet that you see, and but she's the Zuctamori that Roblar hooked up with still, right, Anna? She's the hideous one.
Yep.
Yeah.
She hadn't found her beauty yet.
She's
so
that one. There she is.
Yep. I will have so much fun thinking about that all the time because it's hilarious. Yeah.
Well, yes. And then here's some of the people that are actually trapped in the nodes, right? Grump, Jared, Darley.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ashram, Sargon, and Taki. Sargon is one of the ones in Will's book, spell book.
Nice.
He's in this, which I showed at the seminar. Yeah, the big nose. I said, yeah. Okay. So this was a very tough fight. Now you could actually temporarily ban her. There's all these gems on her throne. If you took the gems out, plop all the gems out, I think she gets banished for 66 years. But if you want to make it a full 100, you have to defeat her in combat. And it's a tough fight. Absolutely. How many people did it? How many people have fought Zuctamori, which is probably one of the few instances in my game of me fighting greater demons like that, because it's part of the adventure, right? I would love Filoni to tackle the, that'd be cool. Oh, I love. Well, I love. I love 13th Warrior. I love it a lot. Here's the gates that are broken. So if you, this is how you limit her powers. Yep, there you go. Is that the good looking
For
one?
my friends at home, this is the 5E Zekimoy.
Yeah.
She is challenge rating 23 with 300 something hit points. So watch what you say.
Right. So there's all sorts of traps down here as well, but it is a cool. I mean, look at 49. This is the most, like when I saw this. This is not regular thing in first edition. 49 hit die. That's just not regular to see that. And you're like, holy geez. That's why I still think it's Menser writing this. I get that feeling it was Menser, but we'll never know. Yeah. It feels like him. And the reason I say that is if any of you have done Egg of the Phoenix or the R series, those adventures from the RPGA, which are worth thousands of dollars. Yes, that's the hideous one. It feels this feels like Egg of the Phoenix when script writer is the same as the original. Yeah, yeah, it's funny. Yeah. Okay. Falx. Yep. All right. So you can banish Zuktomoy, and we did, which is good. And I'll tell you, we'll go an epilogue of some other tie-ins afterwards on this. And Jeremy, you'll be happy because I'm going to tie in something Tony did. All right, dungeon level 4. So a lot of people bypass the sealed door and go back to 3 after doing level 4, which makes sense because but this is the level where it's pretty gross. I think there's a dark elf down here too, isn't there? And she's pretty badass if I recall. There's Barkanar, Diggum. There's also, is there a wall of tentacles here or a violet fungi wall as well that will have limbs fall off going through it. So it's a huge fight in the open area in the middle, and all the leaders on the other side. It's a really nasty combat. It feels almost like a G3 fight, but not as big. I mean, you got hill giants, ettins, trolls all throughout here, along with high-level characters. It's pretty gross. It is pretty gross. And then from that, you're going to capture the orb, and but it's going to be missing all the little gem sockets in it. That will lead you to the nodes to find the gem socket in each node if you want to go that route.
It's almost like you're starting a whole new quest.
Yeah. I suggest you and Jared get into maybe once in a blue moon play together in my games. How about that? You just log in when I do one of my remote games. You're both welcome. Get you in, get some characters, have some fun. I know you got, I have a kid, you have a kid, I understand, but maybe we do that once in a blue moon. He was funny too. So I'll tell you that he saved the party and Vecna lives real quick. Vecna can, in that adventure, what he called it, Vecna dies. If Vecna touches you, he can just snap your neck automatically. Dead. So he time stopped 4 characters, 4 spellcasters, in an area, and was about to move forward to them. And I whispered to Jared, I said, "Hey, time stop and wish to kind of undo that," and he did. And they all teleported to other areas in the building because he would have killed all 4 of them in that one round. So, but then Vecna got pissed off and charged Tensor and snapped his neck, so he died. Hey, Brungel. Oh, cool. So he did a really good job with that.
Hello. Yeah. Thank you again for the book. Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Now take a look. I always remote. All my games are remote. I remote you into my table. You don't need to drop. Just Zoom. Trust me. So, all right, Mike. What things, tidbits, did I miss that you did research on?
I did not really research much on the interior of the adventure because
Right.
I don't know, I might run it someday, but it's so thick, I haven't, who has time to go over the entire contents of this module?
It's a lot.
Especially
Yeah.
when we also have this.
Yes, we also have
Yeah.
that, but it's not really.
That
Yeah.
trivializes a
Well, yeah,
lot
but
of what we're
there's
going
stuff
over.
in there that pertains to this and that we can discuss.
Yeah.
So,
Now, I do have a funny observation about the binding of Zugget here. And it's that she is supposed to have I use a soul gem on her plane, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if she's trapped there, who's watching his soul gem?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like, uh-oh.
Once again, a contradiction, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a lot of contradictions in this adventure. I mean, in general, GREYHAWK lore early on,
It's
there's a lot of that.
a lot to unpack.
Yeah, there is. Yep.
Yeah, the Orb of the Golden Death, I really recall using that item, but what happens after that is really lost
Well,
to memory.
in order to fully use it, you need all the 4 gems inside, right? Here are the nodes. Like I said, I see the nodes as kind of that post-adventure thing that you feel like you don't feel obligated. We never did them. There's a good picture of Ayu's early on, kind of not fully demonic looking.
I like that illustration. That's one of the good ones
Yeah, I
on
like it too.
IU's. Yep.
The old one.
So once you take out the lower levels leaders, Ayu's and St. Cuthbert both show up and parlay and go aside. So you see them actually. So this is the first, like I said, this is the first. There's one of my favorite monsters of all time. Everyone knows that, the Juggernaut. Yeah. Let me get to here's Fragarak, Final World answering sword. They're all mentioned by name in Arcana, but it doesn't say what alignment's which. And there's a lot of people guessing for years, but I don't think it was ever official which was which. And where is it? Orb of Golden Death. Other Swords of Answer. Here is the Orb of Golden Death. There's a picture. There it is. So, and yeah, the elemental power gems. Yeah. You can do it that way, Dragger here, or you can just break the seal on those doors. Dates from Ayu's imprisonment come from, I'm going to say the reference is in the Gossager, in the original folio, and then it's probably mentioned in Ayu's the Evil. Yeah. Yes, she will have some. If you break one seal, she'll have some extra powers. Yep. If you've broken no seal, she's extremely weak. Yeah. So I know. Yep. So, but the orb of golden. What does everyone do with the orb afterwards? You got all the gems are properly in set. Yep. You have to have all of them, and then you can. And this is where the whole thing collapses. If you destroy the orb, the entire temple is done. So, also, she also cannot leave her plane for another 40 years if you destroy it. So, okay. Yep. So,
What's kind of messed up about the whole breaking the seals and fighting her and this and that, it's a very Robillard thing to do, isn't it?
well, he did.
Yeah. I'm just saying the best thing to do, like the movie War Games, is not to play.
Right.
is just to leave the temple alone.
Yeah. So there is a writing somewhere that they came through this, Robillard and his crew, and they tore, just like they always did. They tore through this, but they opened up every seal, and it sucked me out, right? And that's how, I think that may have been how he got taken with her to wherever they went for their weekend at debauchery, Anna. If I
Okay.
recall. We'll have to ask Rob that again in the future, when it
Yep.
happened. But yeah.
Weekend of debauchery. Yep.
Yes. Ugh, gosh.
It sounds like a convention.
It does, but it's funny. It's just funny with the Rob Kuntz is hysterical.
Yeah.
So, all right. Do we have questions? Commentary, questions? Mike, any other tidbits that I missed?
No, I think I squeezed all my observation out of this.
Yeah. I'm gonna say no. I don't think they did when they ran it. I don't think they did. Not that I can recall Rob ever talking about it. 'Cause when Rob played, he played in a very haphazard way where he just didn't. He just went from one room to the next. If there were steps going down, he took them. It just was like to get to the end. So he knew that a guy was big on wandering damage rooms. So he just went down, 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 down. Legacy children. What does that mean, Patrick? Tell me what that means. Legacy children. From Zuckdemoy and Roblar? I don't know. So, what about a return? Is there anything interesting in there, Mike, about what pertains to the original?
Without getting into the weeds,
Yep.
I can tell you that the whole thing is like about it's about the resident.
Right.
Exactly. I was going to say that was the new big thing, that the whole major villain and the whole, meaning the whole story behind it just changed.
Yeah. It's like the same thickness as this, and it just pretty much takes place later, and it tells you, everything you knew is wrong. It's
exactly
this.
That was so which to me is like no.
But the most messed up part is the return to module starts out in Hommlet like normal. Then it takes you to the Lort Mill Mountains.
Right.
Then it takes you back that part. Takes you back to the temple. And it's like, Lort Mill Mountains, what? Okay.
Yeah. But they did. I think one of the redeeming parts of the return is that they developed Hommlet into a town. They expanded it a bit and stuff like that. That part I think is good. Is solid.
There's more temples I noticed. Like
there's more houses and it's grew a little bit. That part I think is good. I don't have any problem with when you come back a decade or two later and that things have changed and added to and stuff. That part I don't mind. But the temple itself and then all that they screwed up changed all the backstory and threw out the baby with the bathwater, so to speak. I don't like that part at all.
I think it's lame and I think it's lazy because the Tharisden thing, Tharisden should be left in the Forgotten Temple of Tharisden where it belongs. Mysterious.
Exactly. There's enough villains when you don't have to have all the villains in one module, so to speak. And,
my only argument against that, Jay, is the Forgotten Temple of Tharisden is empty. There are, it's dead. It's unoccupied. This module deals with active Tharisden cults.
I got it. Put it somewhere else. Do an active Tharisden cult somewhere else. Don't do it in the Temple of Elemental Evil. This doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't feel, I know. This is the era. Shit, I just dropped my lozenge. This is the era of we're going to do returns to everything, right?
Well, but it was part of that. Yeah, a way to capitalize on previous.
It's Monty Cook, though. How did you go wrong?
What's that? How could you go wrong?
Yeah, it's Money Cook. Money Cook.
Yeah.
3E, you know.
Yeah. And it's ranked like 7th of all time, and I'm like, my God, what are you guys smoking?
Well, but it had good production values in that set. It was well printed, well layout, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So and the cover art, you can't complain on the quality of it. It looks cool and inviting and stuff like that. So I think that also plays to its strengths. But people, and also if you never knew much about the original or care much about GREYHAWK as a setting, I would be surprised if it's fun to play. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a persona non grata in my game, and it'll always be that way.
Well, that's perfectly understandable. And from a GREYHAWK setting perspective, you shouldn't screw up with things like that.
No.
So yeah.
I mine it for comic content.
Yeah, I know,
There
which is
you go.
funny. Which is funny. It's like the original Castle GREYHAWK, the
Yep.
silly Castle GREYHAWK, and a lot of other things, and that is perfect. But for this instance, it just doesn't. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. For us, when, like I said, when you free Thrommel, when you are successful in banishing Zuktoi, it means a lot in your campaign. And that's what it should be. And it should be a focal point. Yeah. There are things that happen in games that are meant to be turning points. And I'll give you another example of a turning point in my campaign. Return of the Eight. That is the adventure that you can get Tensor back, get introduced and become a hero in GREYHAWK City, rescue Jalarzi, and actually, get introduced to the new members of the circle itself, and there's a change. Luke still stays dead, but you can undo a lot of the damage of Rari the traitor. And so another that's a turning point. There's a lot of them in the game, and in Temple, there's a huge one. So, yep, absolutely. I'm not reviewing Castle GREYHAWK. Unless I have like 4 gummies, then I'll do it.
4 gummies.
Yeah, then I'll do it. So
Jay,
awesome.
you like analogies, right?
Yeah.
Highlander.
Yes, the
2.
quickening. It's the quickening. Oh my God, that's awesome. Yeah.
It's like, Zeist.
Yeah.
Dresden. Yeah.
I know. I always go there. I was like, I can't even do it. I can't do it. I fought for the prize, but actually I came from the planet Zeist. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh my God. No love. Highlander 3 was comical. That was Van Peebles talking like this. That was a joke. Yeah.
I do believe I gave Jay the poster for that movie.
Yeah.
It probably never made it back to Jersey though.
No, I think I have it. I think I have it downstairs.
Really?
It's just not up. I have the originals all on the wall, but if I put that up, my friends would kill me.
I finally got around to putting 2 movie posters up for my office.
Oh, nice.
I got The Matrix and
awesome.
Braveheart.
Well, great movies. Great movies. All right, what questions do any of you have or commentary?
Yeah.
We could probably do that. We may be on a roll. This was a Mike idea. Mike, you had some other ones, right? Other ones you said that we could go into topic-wise.
They were ideas from many moons back, but this was on our list of published products that we have never really gone over. So somehow.
Right. There's other, Malden, I've used Castle GREYHAWK as part of my legit campaign. Only you could do that, Dennis. And you probably did it well. So, is there a Spelljammer point there in that Castle GREYHAWK? There is none. What is the path from ToE to GREYHAWK Wars? There is none. I wouldn't connect them. So I want to say this. There is nothing wrong with running just adventures. But I see no connection to, are you ready? To running Hommlet through T1 to 4, then running A1 to 4, then running GDQ. I don't see that connection at all. That doesn't mean you can't do it. But I just don't think that makes. I think in a campaign setting, you need a little bit more, right? But you can
Yeah.
do that. A lot of people want to do that
Well,
path. That's fine. But
yeah, and also GREYHAWK, that's one way of experience GREYHAWK is to play through all these old modules in if you can come up with all sorts of directions you want to go with it, but order, you can change the order and stuff too. But that is a perfectly viable way of playing the GREYHAWK setting and just run the modules and then see, now I've done GREYHAWK, so to speak. That's one way of doing it. Nothing wrong with it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Mike can run a game for us anytime on a Saturday morning as a special guest DM. I'd be all for it.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I'm also looking forward to the continue another story and your and the adventure we did at GaryCon. That was fun that Friday night. I'll still play the same mage and I'll fly around again and do nothing. That was awesome. I love the story plot
I
art.
think Eric knows why I don't run a live stream game, and it's because Jay doesn't want his Twitch canceled.
What? Do my numbers go down? I think
No, you don't want to get banned from Twitch.
Oh well, yeah. Well, yeah, you got to make sure all the players are know
Yeah.
what can
Yeah.
and can't happen.
Yeah.
Once Castle constructed Castle Rock in Minecraft, anyone thought it was the coolest smiley face on the map. That's funny. See, that's cool though. That's cool to do. There's nothing wrong with that. You skip 1 to 4 and go to GDQ. There's nothing wrong with that. All I'm saying is it's a grandiose campaign. If you want to play, if you play single characters and want to make the ultimate adventure path, that's fantastic because that's what your players can like. Nothing wrong with it. I say, why not expand out from you run Temple, expand out from here, do something, go to the Shieldlands, help up there, go to GREYHAWK City, go to Cairn Hills, go to Hardby, go to Wild Coast, go to Narwhal, go to Prone Marsh. You know, Sam? So that's kind of
one of the things I noticed about this module was a very minor thing I noticed is that the opening narration assumes you come from the Wild Coast to Hommlet.
Yeah.
And Joe kind of did that. It came from Joe's A0. Oh, there's one more. If you don't want to do the nodes, Joe has another alternate adventure, a T5. There you go. You can get this on Joe's site too. Beneath the Temple of Elemental Evil. All right. It's not large, but there's some changes in here to make changes for it. Nodeless. Dungeon level 5. All right. There you go. And then here's the map. That's it. Okay. Gotta give Joe his props for doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, well, I'm not going to Great Kingdom, Patrick, but you can. Joe does great stuff. Joe does great stuff, 100%. So, yep, I said no to the nodes twice. So. Alrighty, anything in closing, Anna? That.
I just want to say this is such a classic that everyone who is interested in GREYHAWK should get into it to some degree. Run it in some shape or form, so to speak, because I think it's such a integral part of the setting and a part of the history, both of D&D and of GREYHAWK. So, and just the cover alone made me like, wow, this is a cool place. I think, in my opinion, it's some of the best covers of any D&D product ever. But I didn't run it as intended, but I played through it. No, that was only the Hommlet. We played through the Temple too, but that was probably screwed up in one way or the other because we were not that old. We were like 20, 21 or something like that, maybe 22 maybe. But then I've used it in my adventures, but that was, I used the location, a lot of an homage to it, so to speak. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of information that can be mined right out of them. You know?
Yeah,
And the key is
definitely.
to have fun with it.
Yep.
So, Mike, how about you?
Well, as someone who runs 5e here for the last 10 or so years, I would probably, for the Temple of Elemental Evil, I would probably run my players through it at 3rd level.
Yeah.
Because 5e characters are too powerful. They could probably take out that dungeon, no problem.
Well,
no.
Another, and you run 2024 or 2014?
Yeah, the most recent.
Okay. May have some play testing coming up in 2024. Just so you're aware.
Ooh, okay.
All righty. Anything going on, Mike? What do you got going on?
Okay, well, I have a new comic, of course.
Oh yes.
And interestingly, okay, so this new comic,
Let me get it up here.
this new page, this is my comic Under, which was very topical for this. Under starts out in the Crown Hills, right?
Okay.
And following the events of Vecna Lives. And they travel east through to Nulb. They pass the Temple of Elemental Evil and they go to the town of Nulb. And then from Nulb, they go back to the Underdark, where
Awesome.
last time they went through some arena combat with a Grimlock, if you remember.
Yep.
So in this issue, I got Dark Elf, Shadow Demon, all the classics. So yeah, I got that comic going on, and then the Pearland campaign is still raging on. It's getting a little dicey. We're getting close to the end game, I have a feeling.
Oh, really?
We'll see how things pan out. They're still on the hunt for Dronza and her
that's awesome.
evil cohorts.
That's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah.
So let's see. Is that a Shadow Demon?
That's a Shadow Demon.
Yes. Yes, that is Malthrax Errand Gnome. What did you do?
These figures look so cool, Mike. Look awesome. Great. Yeah.
Yeah, the intention of this comic was I wanted to do a comic that was primarily set in the Underdark because I feel the Underdark cultures are very interesting and alien to what you're normally used to. So it was fun to draw.
Thank you for the follow.
I love she looks so cool, that Drought. She looks really, really cool. Yeah.
Right. Anna, what do you got going on?
I have a classic shield that I can't imagine that I should have done a long, long time ago when I started, that I realized that, damn, I need to do that shield. And it's a Serarak. It's kind of obvious, but there is, so a Serarak coming, but there is also the Conventicle of a Serarak, and you can Google that one and see what you come up with. But so I found the Conventicle of a Serarak too, and so that will have a shield too, and there will be a standard version of a Serarak. There will be a flan version of it, and there will be old aged and like new ones, like pristine versions. That will be the simple SVG, PNG, and the real version. So there will be. I've done 8 so far, and there will be another, like, so will be a dozen shields in variants and formats and stuff of SRX. Hopefully I can get it done tomorrow. I've done 8 so far, and there's probably another 4 or 5 to do, so I will probably do them tomorrow. So yeah. Yes, that's one of them, is the classic. Of course, it's the classic demon face with the gaping mouth. That's of course the classic. And then but the conventicle of Acererak is different. So that's part of it too. So yeah, and also since I want to see Acererak as a old flan wizard from the age of Vecna, And then, but some people might just want to run it as a classic. So I made a classic shield, and I'm going to make a flan version as well.
Awesome.
So that's what's coming up right at the quickest, so to speak. Yeah.
Are all of for our project, all the heraldry's all up to date, isn't it?
There is a couple to get in there, and also they needs to go on review before it's being finalized too.
Well,
So yeah,
someone has to review, but who's that?
exactly. I guess that will be the whole group. Yep.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yep. Yep.
And you're on Friday night?
Yep. I was just going to end with that. So yep.
Okay. So no game tomorrow night like normal. 10 a.m. Saturday. It's going to be a short game, 10 to 1. Because my son's got a piano recital at 2, even though it may be snowing, we'll see. But 10 to 1. And the cast is done. I just didn't update this. It's the DFCC, which is the dual-fisted communist checkers. So we got Myriad, Bella, Phantom NJ, Mike Disney, and Violence. They're the 5 in this with 1 NPC on defense, number 1,162. 10 a.m. Saturday morning live. We'll have some Frog God Games giveaways like normal, but that will be Saturday. Now, special guest Sunday night. She was at GaryCon and did a lot of the moderating for all of the writers block seminars. I participated in one of hers. I we were hanging out a bit at Page, talked, and she's going to be on first time. And that is the writer Tiffany Rose Nickel will be on Sunday night. We'll talk about her books, talk about her publications. What's up, Mike? DFCC, Dual Fisted Communist Checkers. There's Mike Disney. So we'll have Tiffany on. And she's also going to be joining my campaign with a character on February 7th. So that'll be Saturday, and whatever game we're doing that day. Yeah, she's awesome, Jeremy. She's awesome. And really excited about playing old school GREYHAWK. So we'll get her in. She really wants to know more about it, and so that'll be good. But she'll be on Sunday night at 7 o'clock, and then we'll have a regular week next week. But get ready, 4 weeks away. So, am I missing it yet? Well, no, because that's great, unlockable. And if you were at Page, let me know who you are. I'm still exhausted. I'm still run down. That's why I'm not running a game tomorrow night. I'm beat. And it could be I caught something and just, or, one of those. Look at the job Anna did in the background there. We got a lot of aberrations and abominations to figure out, and we'll do that over the next couple
I think
weeks.
there's like 13 or 14, I forgot which, but there's over 10 different monsters that we need to dissect, and you have to guess and stuff that we go over. So yeah.
This is abominations abound, okay?
Yeah.
So all the ones you see were the ones that participated last year. They have not all confirmed. So far, Confirmations Marquee is confirmed. Folk and Myths confirmed. And we have the Game Master Eric, who's going to be brand new. I think Orc Skull's in definitely too. And Sparkles Mandy is also going to be in. I know Rob's in, Phantom NJ. I just haven't gotten with Chuck, Chuck Darling, and Guild Superior, and Stronghold. We'll see. I'm working on this, trying to get the schedule finalized by the end of the week, end of the weekend, I should say, because I'm going to be snowed in probably on Sunday. So we'll get this rolling. Note, Ed is already committed to my game Saturday night, the main event Saturday night. I sent off what needs to be painted to Mike Disney, who's on here today. So hopefully I'll have that back in time for my part of Abominations Abound. We need to surpass $32,000, everyone. So please, whatever you can do would be helpful. For this, we've already raised over $100,000 in the 7 years we've done it. This is year 8. So, I know, like I'm tired. So yeah, we're all good. We're gonna have some fun times with this, and some really cool, hey Fosco, really cool participants. That's enough for tonight, isn't it?
Yeah.
See who wins the giveaway. If you do not have, a lot of you do, but we got a lot of new watchers. Treasures of GREYHAWK and White Plume Mountain tonight. There'll be your two. The winner will get these both. If you have the one or both, I have plenty of alternates. Okay. A lot of those chairs sucked, man. Tim and I were sitting there eating afterwards, and we said, what are we bringing next year? And we both looked at each other and we go, pillows or our own chairs. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Cool. I'm bringing every chair I sat, someone ended up tilted back and my little arms could barely. Yeah, exactly. I'm bringing my own freaking chair next year. I'll be sitting in it and like rolling around the whole convention in the chair.
Yeah, convention chairs aren't that comfortable.
Yes,
that's for
Mike,
sure.
10 a.m. It's right below me now. It'll be you, Bella, Myriad, Rob, and Violence, which is Heather Hex. Those are the 5 PCs. Players. And yes, and Skarn, it'll probably be right out of Wolfmaster Keep, and the name is On Defense. 10 a.m. Saturday. You're in. Yep. That's the game you're in. All right, let's do the giveaway here. Thank you all. If you have a chance, it's long. It's 3.5 hours long, I think, on the stream. But on Twitch and YouTube, my interview with Ed on Sunday night was awesome. If you missed it, it was fun. Lots of fun. I'm on the wrong thing here. Let me see. Had a great time talking to him. All right, last call, exclamation point drawing. If you want to get in. If you're out of the country and win, I will substitute it with Troller Game gift certificates. Like I always do. Okay, here we go. I'm going to close it out. And the winner is Amanda. I'll reach out to you on one of the, I think I have you as a friend on Facebook. If you have Facebook Messenger, I'll reach out. I had a great time hanging with you guys. It was fun. Lots of fun. MechBoy 21. Is he on to claim? Yes, so I will get with you. There's MechBoy 21 on. He's on. All right, he's on. So if he's looking, that's cool. I'll get with him. But I have his address. So all right. Yeah, all right, they're yours. They're yours, man.
There you go.
They're yours. So we'll see you all Saturday morning. Sorry, I'm not gonna be on tomorrow night. I know a lot of you, rely on the content. Apologize. I want to make sure that I'm okay and just chill out for once. Thank you, Metal. First time. Thank you. Please return. Sunday night streams are always Gabbins or anything goes on Gabbins.
Exactly.
Outside of GREYHAWK, yeah.
Well, yeah. Wednesday we try to stay in the setting, and Sundays everywhere.
Yeah. Thank you, Wolf. In fact, I'm gonna finish up and I'm crashing from this. So, Mike, thanks for the work. Anna, thank you.
Yeah.
We'll see you all in a couple days.
Yeah.
And Saturday morning and Sunday night, rest of the week. And I hope you all have a great rest of the night. I'm gonna hit the wrong button here.
Thank you, Odd.
Yep. Yep. Thanks. It's a raid. We're gonna raid into. Oh shit! I didn't even look to see who I'm gonna raid into.
Thank you, Jeremy. Yeah.
Thank you for all the follows too. Oh shit! Give me 1 second. I should have looked. Darling did a raid into me tonight. That she did. Correct. So let's see what we got on. Folk and Myth's on. I'm gonna do Folk and Myth. Raid into Folk and Myth. They're part of the fundraiser, so definitely. Darling's playing on there. That's cool. Okay. Should we get over 60 or 70? Awesome. Thank you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you Saturday morning. Love you all. Thank you.
Bye.
Awesome.
Yeah, off to a bird.
Just gotta find my turn it off.